Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Permission Mission Show. My name is Mary McElhat and I am your host today. And today we are going to talk about something I didn't even post what the show would be about. And I'll tell you why. Because today's topic is called Your Invitation. Your invitation to my one day funeral. Believe it or not, I have prearranged everything when it comes to my final day. It wasn't the easiest thing to do. There was a lot of thought put into it, and I still sometimes change some things along the way. However, have you ever shown up to somebody's house unprepared or uninvited? I have. I've shown up uninvited at my children's house, and they're not always attentive to my needs because they're running around taking care of their kids. I know that myself, if somebody comes in uninvited, I'm not prepared. I may be in my pajamas. I may have no makeup on. These things are things to think about when it comes to some final arrangements. The bottom line is, do you want your family to be prepared and invited? How about you showing up with some things that you were able to get done ahead of time? Because it just is not something we want to wait until the last minute, not having any thought put into it, and certainly not thinking about our loved ones to make sure that they're prepared to show up on an already difficult day. But when you prepare some things ahead of time, like me today, the invitation is to you and my family and my friends, people I love. And I'm going to give you plenty of time because today I'm thinking that it's 2064. 2064 is 40 years from now. I'm 98 years old, okay? I am surrounded by family and friends. I am surrounded by love and encouragement because obviously the ultimate would be to live a long, full life, right? Some of us don't get that though. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to. But at least today on this show, I'm putting the invitation way out and ahead of time, giving you plenty of advance notice and a couple little things to think about along the way. So the cool part is I'm laying in bed. I've got all kinds of love around me, and I am not thinking about anything I did or didn't do. I'm certainly not stressed about anything. I am completely wrapped in love and acknowledgement of a good life well lived. I have arrived. It is my day that I'm going to be able to show up, and you're invited. So when a person passes away, in my case, I am going to have a funeral home already selected. They will bring me into their care, and my family will be reached out to come in and kind of do all those little details that are not big decisions, but still important. But they'll be able to talk about things like planning the dates, the dates for the celebration of life. If there's going to be a visitation, they will talk about my outfit. Well, let me tell you, I already have my outfit picked out. I will be in pajamas. Like I said, I'm 98 years old and I'm going to be good and tired. And I am not going to put on one more outfit or even think about what outfit I need to wear on a day that I know that I have lived a long life and I am exhausted. Just put my pajamas on me and lay me to rest for a good long time. It'll be fine. The other things that they are going to be asked to do is they're going to ask about an obituary. Well, when you have a pre-arrangement in place, that obituary is already taken care of by the funeral home. There will be some questions you will be asked. In my case, obviously, they're going to ask questions about my children, my grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren. They're going to ask what kind of flowers I love. I wore this suit in particular today because this is my favorite color. This will be the color of my pajamas. I'm thinking about white roses and maybe some pink roses if they can get them to be a bright pink. Light pink is not my color, I'm more of the bright, the floral colors. Uh, think about a stationery. Again, the funeral home handles all of this, but we have different themes for stationery. I kind of like the Kincaid look and feel. So we have that, but we have the American flag, we have floral, we have doves, we have, you name it, it's probably there. Keepsakes. For me, if my kids don't know it, they're going to know today. My kids, I've loved peanut M&Ms my whole life. And kind of towards the later part of my life, I found out there's something even better with peanut M&Ms, and that's pretzels. Pretzels and peanut M&Ms are a really good combination. So that's probably going to be my keepsake. Or songs. What kind of songs do you want played? For me, I absolutely picked out a couple songs that I love, and the songs is "What a Beautiful Name It is one of my favorite songs. There also is another song that I'm very proud of, and that's Tina Turner's song, "It's My Turn." It's gonna be my turn this day. It's my invitation to you showing up at my service, so I get to say so about some songs. It brings me back to when I was talking with my father and his planning. I said, "You know, Dad, what kind of songs do you want played at your service?" Well, he gave me a whole list of what he didn't want, and I thought that was special too, because it eliminated those songs that we didn't need to select. So Tina Turner, "It's My Turn" is going to be one of my songs. I also think that families should be aware that, you know, there are receptions that funeral homes will plan and prepare. All the food is picked out and selected. If it's in your pre-arrangement or if it's decided upon at the time of, I think when we put a little bit of our own touch into it, meaning family can select what food they want, but hey, mine's Mexican food. Loved it my whole life. It'll be the first thing I kind of say when everybody says, "Hey, Mom, what do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "Let's go have a burrito. Let's go have some tacos. Let's make some TLC tacos." TLC tacos are something I've done throughout the years with the kids. It's where a little bit of work is done by everybody. That means, so take this as a tip. Someone gets lettuce and they chop the lettuce. Somebody does the cheese. Somebody does the tomatoes. Somebody does the onions. This way you're not having to do all of it yourself. So there's a little tidbit, a little bit of a tradition that I've carried out with my kids called the TLC Tuesday Taco Night. So death certificates. Obviously, I talked about them on some prior shows. You'll need those. I will need those on my behalf. Family cannot close out affairs without having death certificates. And because I've prepared ahead of time, I've already answered the questions that are going to be on that death certificate. You have to remember, a family that day feels different. They want to be taken care of. That's the whole purpose of this show. Here at the WWDBTV every Friday at 11 a.m. is practicing talking about mortality so we can normalize the conversation so that we can better be prepared. We can think about our family ahead of time on that day. And more importantly, just have a piece of our heart included in the invitation to the one time trip in a lifetime that I will take, hopefully not for years from now. But the reality is that I don't know. I just know that this day will come. I know that you will have this day. Do you want your guests to come unprepared? Do you want them to come, you know, not knowing, not having things said that the person's life was beautiful and all of a sudden at a service, it's not really spoken about because nobody really put any effort in ahead of time? So this is the opportunity I'm giving you, like I'm taking the opportunity, is to think about some things ahead of time. I have letters for my children. I will have letters for my grandchildren. I will have things that I want talked about. I will even have something very important to me that I've kind of done all throughout the years when I was manager and working with company and working with people and even with my own kids is making sure they got a little bit of cash in their pocket. So one of my other keepsakes will be at my service, there will be a little bit of cash in somebody's pocket, maybe a couple people. Now, that might be luring to get you to come to my funeral service. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm doing. These days, not many people want to go to funerals. These days, not many people want to even RSVP for events, and events are important. I personally just think that if we just take some time out to put some thought into whether it's our funeral, whether it's an event you're having, and you're wanting people to RSVP, but nobody's responding, I hope that this show will give you the urgency that you need in your life, that I needed in my life, to just wake me up and start making some plans for things that are more important than anything in life that I could do. I cannot be there the day that my children and my husband will have to say their goodbyes, but I will be there emotionally saying, hello, it's going to be okay. I thought about you this day. I picked out a lot of things that I didn't want you to have to do, but I still want your touch on it, selecting out the flowers, what kind of theme for the prayer cards or the stationery, making sure you play my song by Tina Turner, It's My Turn. I'll get a little bit of a chuckle out of that. Now, some of the requirements, if you attend my funeral in 2064, when I'm 98 years old, show up, have a good time. Please don't wear black. Wear every bright color that you want. Give my kids a hug that remind them that I had prepared them for this day. If my husband's still alive, let him know I'm still thinking about him every single night. And it's okay if he pulls the blanket down for me to get in bed, if he wants to still do that. I do that for him. He's now doing it for me. These are those little nuggets that I think are as sweet as ever. And this way we just have something to keep us moving forward in life, because it's not fair for one person to pass that the other people feel that they need to too. And unfortunately, that's what does happen when we don't talk about mortality ahead of time. It's the inevitable, right? It's the only inevitable. So while we are alive, give ourselves permission to talk about it ahead of time. If anybody ever says to you that, another requirement. So just love on each other. Just again, after you've reminded my kids that they were prepared for this day, and if Dan's around, give him a hug. If he's not, the grandkids, just tell them that you watched this show, that you shared this show, and that we all have permission to talk about everything we want to talk about. But the most important is the day of our arrival. Our day of arrival is the day that we can say we've completed a good life, whatever age we are, because we lived it. We got a chance to live it. We did some cool things, and we did some hard things, and we did some great things. But by far, I believe in my heart of hearts that this is the best thing that we could ever talk about with the people we love in advance if we have a chance. So thank you for being in my invitation today for my service in 2064, where I've arrived. I don't know if that's going to be, if it's going to happen that way, but I'm certainly going to put it out that way into the world, because that's how I'd like it to be. But unfortunately, right, we just don't have the final say so. Somebody else is larger than us and in charge, but I trust the process. Thank you for joining us here at the Permission Mission Show. You are welcome to share this video with anyone that you find that would gain from it, or you just love them and tell them that Mary said that it's okay, that we normalize the conversation of mortality, and that it is a conversation that all of us need to have, want to have, and the Permission Mission Show is a place that we can safely have it. We will be having, coming up on August 22nd, I am going to do my very first open workshop for the Permission Mission so that we can practice one-on-one. I'm only opening it up to 10 spots, 10 people. I have 4 already filled. There is 6 still available. If you would like, I did have 6 and a couple people have had to, they're going to come the next one. So go to permissionmission.com. Make sure that you connect with me. There is a place to be able to reserve your seat, because if you want to be like ready for anything in life, you want to talk about mortality. It'll have everything else ready. Your family will thank you. You will have peace. And there is this confidence that comes when we're talking about our own mortality that is present once you get past the awkwardness of it and the embarrassment of it. I promise you. Come hang out with me. It'll be on August 22nd at 9 a.m. in the morning at the Aware Coffee location off of Rainbow. But again, all those details I'll give to you when you connect to me on my permissionmission.com. You also can go share any other videos in the past at WWDBTV.com. Also Facebook, WWDBTV, and Mary McElhatton Facebook, and Permission Mission Facebook. I'm going to end it with a Walter Cronkite quote. I can't imagine a person becoming a success who doesn't give this game of life everything he's got. Let's give it everything we got. I hope to see you back here next week. Thank you again for joining us here on the Permission Mission Show, normalizing the conversation of mortality. Have a great day.